Hey everyone, so for today's video, I'm going to be using my friend Justin as my little guinea pig. Now we are sporting a rustic, kind of copper sunset inspired, very androgynous smoky eye that anybody can rock if you are a guy, a girl, gay, straight, whoever you is, you can rock this look. So let's go ahead and get started. So before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and use the M.A.C Strobe cream to add a little bit of a luminosity. I'm going to go ahead and massage that all over his face. And then to smooth down his skin and to mattify certain areas, I'm actually going to be using Pores No More by Dr. Brant. And just smoothing that out where he has a little bit more texture. Then I'm going to take my M.A.C Pro Concealer Palette in the shade Light to Medium, and then my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Foundation in the shade 290. I'm going to go ahead and do a little mixture of both and start applying this to his face. Now, his skin is literally almost nearly flawless. I'm actually very jealous of his skin. So what I'm going to do is I'm pretty much just going to correct, like spot correct, and then just apply a little bit of foundation to other areas just to even out the skin. But I'm not going to go ahead and cake up his whole entire face since he pretty much has very flawless skin. I just want to go ahead, just again, like I said, spot correct, even out skin tone. I'm also going to go down the neck and in between his beard. And I'm using a concealer brush to first apply the product onto his skin and then a beauty sponge to blend it all out and make it look a little bit more skin-like. Next, I'm taking my trusty Laura Mercier powder. I'm going to go ahead with my beauty sponge and just press that under his eyes and anywhere that he might get creasing or oily. And then taking a fluffy blending brush and spreading the powder around so it doesn't look so heavy. Before we get started on the eyes, I'm going to go ahead and prepare his lids using the Makeup Forever Step 1 Eyes and Lip Base. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to make sure that we have an even base so that the shadows can stick to the eyelids properly. And for this look, we're going to be using the Jeffree Star Androgyny palette. I'm first going to take the shade Charm, which is like a nice warm tone, not really yellow, not really orange eyeshadow. I'm going to go ahead and put that on his crease as my transition shade. Next, I'm taking my favorite shade from this palette, which is called Fetish, which is like a very satin red, blood red shade. I'm going to go ahead with a more dense crease brush. I'm going to go ahead and just blend this along the crease, keeping it a little bit lower than Charm. And then I'm switching back and forth between the dense crease brush and then the fluffier brush we used to apply Charm with, just so that this color is blended out correctly. Next, I'm going to take the shade Dominatrix, which is a lovely brown color. I'm going to go ahead and take a fluffier brush, which is slightly smaller than the first one that we used, and keeping that right in the outer and the inner corner. So this is where I want to add the most dimension, just because the eye look that we're going for is going to be a halo eye. So you want to make sure that the inner and the outer corners are the darkest, and then you leave the center open so that we can add a little bit of a spotlight. I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Deja Vu on a flat brush, sprayed with a little bit of Fix Plus so that way it's a little bit more pigmented. I'm putting that in the dead center of the eye and then patting a little bit of frosting right on top of it, just so that way we get intense luminosity. And then I'm taking the shade Fetish and using that kind of like on the inner and the outer corner of Deja Vu, if you get what I'm saying, just so that way we can blend Deja Vu and add a little bit more dimension. So it's kind of like a little soft gradients from light to dark. We applied the Urban Decay Glide On Slide On pencil in the shade Chaos. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Swallow from the Jeffree Star palette on a little dense brush and use that right in the bottom lash line, using it to blend out Chaos. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Poison and using it to blend out Swallow. When I'm doing makeup on male models in particular, I actually tend to bring the shadow on the bottom lash line a little bit lower than usual, just because it tends to give the eye more of a sunken in illusion, and it tends to make them look a little bit more on the grungy side as well. It kind of gives the eyes a little bit more of a menacing look. And just like usual, I'm taking some fluffy blending brushes just to help out with the process of blending out the lower lash line. I'm also going to take the brushes and kind of flick the shadow up to wing it just like usual. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Juvia's Place Masquerade palette. I'm gonna take the shade Zola, and I'm gonna use that right in the inner corner of the eye. And I'm pressing this shadow using a pencil brush to really pack on the color right in the inner corner. And to make it pop a little bit more, I'm adding the Corrupt Loose Pigment by Fearless Cosmetics, and then blending that out using a fluffy pencil brush. If you are wondering what I'm doing, I'm actually taking a little bit of concealer and placing this right in the center of the lower lash line, just so that the next shade that we're going to apply, which is Electric from the Subculture palette by Anastasia, stands out a lot more. And I'm actually using my finger to really press that in there as well, so again, it stands out more. Now, we want to go ahead and repeat the same steps that we did on the top lid on the bottom lash line. So I'm going to go ahead and take Poison and Swallow and use that right in the outer and inner edge of Electric just to blend those shades out. As you can see, it kind of looks like a little bit of a sunset right in his eyelids, and it looks beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of mascara, and I'm using Damn Girl by Too Faced. Moving on to the rest of his face, I'm going to be using my MAC Mineralized Skin Bronzer in the shade Give Me Sun on a fluffy powder brush. I'm going to go ahead and just grace this all over the forehead, hit the temples, hit those cheekbones, kind of sculpt out his features a little bit, and also give him a little bit of a sun tan, more of that bronzy glow. And then, of course, I'm using my BECCA Champagne Collections Jaclyn Hill Face Palette. I'm going to be taking the shade Amaretto and using that on a slightly smaller powder brush. I'm going to go ahead and grace this blush right on the tip of the nose. I'm also going to go ahead and hit the top of his cheeks and then a little bit on his forehead. He's got a cute round nose, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of slim down a little bit using a smaller eyeshadow brush and the same bronzer from before. For my favorite part, we're going to move on to the eyebrows. Now, Justin already has pretty structured eyebrows, so literally all I'm doing is I'm taking the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade number 6. I'm just going to go ahead and pretty much just only filling in these sparse areas and shaping the brow a little bit more, but I'm not going too crazy on them. I still want to keep them very natural. To further fill them in a little bit more, I'm going to take the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel in the shade Ebony. I'm just slightly dispersing this through the brows because again, I want it to look a little bit fluffier, and I'm using the exact same brow gel to fill in his beard and fill in any patchy areas. Next, I'm taking the OFRA highlighter in the shade Rodeo Drive. I'm going to go ahead and place this right on the top of his cheekbones, the temples, bridge of the nose, a little bit on the forehead, and also right above the lips. So I want his skin to look very glowy, and he kind of wanted to go ahead and amp it up with the color, so we actually decided to take the Anastasia Dream palette and take the shade Etherial, which has a very beautiful purple hue to it, and just apply that right on his cheekbones as well to again add a little pop of color. It just makes this look a little bit more fun and vibrant, cause why not? I don't think that was enough glow for him, so he actually kind of took over from here and just started applying Etherial wherever he pleased. Then I'm taking the Rimmel London lipstick in the shade number 47, and with my ring finger, I'm only applying a little bit to his lips just to add a little bit of color, and then he's finishing it off with the Smashbox Primer Water just to pretty much set everything. So that is it for this androgynous, masculine, smoky eye. I really hope that you all liked this video, and if you did, please make sure to give it a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel as usual. Also, don't forget to follow me on any other social media. The links will be down below, as well as the list of products that I use in this video. Now, thank you so much to Justin for being my model on this channel. It's so much fun to have male models just because I like diversity, and I like for everybody to know that anybody can wear makeup, no matter if you are a guy, if you are a girl, and it's always very fun to play around with colors. So I really hope to see you next time, and bye!